You and I are going to go on our first journey down my little trail that I like to call Divinity. If you don't already know, my name is Pancake. I'm a writer, I'm an artist, I'm the owner of this lovely channel here, and if you would like to join this little safe space, and you would like to stay here, please feel free to like and subscribe below to let me know. I want you to grab a drink, grab some water, maybe a little snacky snack in your little craft, and then you can curl up with me as I create for a little while. How does that sound? One thing you'll probably learn pretty quickly about me is that I love a good yap session about my characters. I don't get to have them very often, but I love being able to talk about them. They have so much character to them, and they are my babies. I also feel like talking about them more gives them more character and makes them feel like they're more alive. The hardest part is just getting my brain to do two things at once, because I'm trying to learn how to draw and talk at the same time, even though my brain doesn't like to do two things at once, like Phil Lester. And what's worse is that my partner is even more Phil Lester than I am. I'm Dan. I'm Dan. But anywho, we're going to talk about my book today and the characters that are in it. So if that is something that interests you, please feel free to stay. Maybe leave a like, a share, a subscribe. Maybe in the comments you can tell me about one of your OCs that you're working on, and their personalities, what they like. Divinity is the novel that I'm currently working on. It is written entirely in free verse poetry. It's pretty easy to read, so it's not like extreme prose or anything like that. If you've ever heard of Ellen Hopkins, she is one of my biggest writing inspirations. She honestly has a lot more structure to her poems than I let myself have, because I've always loved doing just free verse and then branching out to different types of poetry as I feel I want to, because it's fun to do those other kinds. Let me know if you guys want a video on the different kinds of poetry there are, because I'd love to write up some different examples. Maybe I'll do that in the future. Like, it's fun to show what poetry can be. Like, it doesn't just have to be fancy words and full structure or short and simple. It can be anything that you want it to be. It can even be a picture. Making pictures or drawings out of words is just as fun, as well as blackout poetry too. I'm sure you'll see a bunch of that as well on this channel, because just writing is one of my biggest passions, along with art. But Divinity starts following the story of a human named Brayden and the demon who tries to kill him but gets a taste and can't resist. So he starts a game of cat and mouse stalking. It's kind of fun to him to feel dangerous. The demon's name is Siren. I can't remember if I said that. My brain is not as linear as a lot of people probably. I'm very neurodivergent, so you'll see that in a lot of the way that I speak. I'm positive of it, but as time goes on, I'm sure I'll get better at it. Like I said earlier in one of my previous videos, this is more than I normally ever talk, and I am getting better at it. So please just stick with me on that. I promise I'll get better. But the story starts following Brayden, and Siren gets a taste of him, starts stalking, learns a lot of things about himself, figures out that Brayden's blood is essentially an aphrodisiac for demons. So it's kind of a spicy story, so definitely 18 plus. I am very huge on queer themes and LGBT themes because it's one of the biggest parts of my life as well. It's not something that I hide. I myself am pansexual, leaning more towards demisexual, because I like everybody, but it takes a while for me to get used to your personality. Saying that as somebody who is eternally committed to someone else. So take that with a grain of salt too. That's just me explaining how I feel about my own sexuality. As well as I am not non-binary, so I don't really conform to any certain gender. My pronouns are they, them, just solely because that's the easiest. I genuinely don't care what pronouns are used towards me. You can use literally any pronouns towards me, and I would just go, cool, thanks. Like, it genuinely does not matter to me. So, I'd probably just laugh it off if you called me something derogatory, like, thanks for that, I guess. A lot of things have just rolled off my back over the past years. And I've been kind of clammed up for a while, so learning how to talk again isn't that easy. So just bear with me. It's kind of funny, but yeah. Brayden ends up in the hospital, is essentially taken care of by his twin brother, River, who makes a lot of money from his art. Brayden works at a gas station. River, his brother, works at a coffee shop as well as doing exhibits for his art. But it's something that Brayden doesn't really have knowledge about, so you don't really see much into River's life beyond what Brayden sees in front of him. But Siren ends up leaving a rose every single day, one a day, without anyone seeing or noticing him doing it, which frustrates Brayden beyond belief. And by the time he's released from the hospital, he still hasn't figured out what is going on, is kind of delirious to what attacked him, doesn't think a lot of this is real. And River is not doing a very good job at convincing him otherwise, because River is hard of believing what Brayden has told him about what attacked him, solely because of Brayden's past and how he's had insomnia forever and sleep paralysis demons and all that, because obviously they're twins. He knows essentially everything about his brother. River knows almost everything about Brayden. The only thing River doesn't know about, which Siren figures out, is that Brayden can sing. Knew he could play guitar, doesn't know how well. He hides that from River because River chooses to hide his art from Brayden, which will be gotten into towards the end of the book, and that will be understood at that point, but that won't come for a while, and that is a very big spoiler, so you must read the book if you want to figure that out. But Siren figures out Brayden can sing, like professional sing, because Brayden can. He does shows on the down low. He is a one-man band called Hopeless Heaven, hides his complete identity online and in person, wears different face masks that has features, as well as red contacts that have become kind of his signature. He's essentially a local legend, but nobody knows who he is, and that's kind of the biggest appeal of it. It's part of why everybody loves it so much, is because he has that persona to him, despite the songs reflecting real life. He does a lot of covers, as well as original music. I'm probably going to put together a playlist of all the songs that Hopeless Heaven would cover on stage, because I think that would be really fun. I already have a playlist that I listen to constantly just as my quote-unquote divinity soundtrack, because it's what I would have the divinity soundtrack be if I could choose a bunch of already licensed music and put it on an album against the artist's will. That's partially a joke, but it's for my own personal use, so it doesn't matter. I will once the book releases, I'll probably release the link to it on whatever I created on. I know I have it on Spotify right now. I know there's issues with supporting Spotify right now, but that is the one sole thing that I need to have for my own mental health, because it has everything on it. If somebody can literally give me a way to export every single one of my Spotify playlists and put it on a different website, please, for the love of God, tell me. I would love to be able to do that and get off of Spotify, because I know it's something that shouldn't be supported right now, but it has everything since 2015 for me, and it would take a very long time and essentially all of my spoons or energy to be able to do that in a single day, and I have a lot more that I need to do than just sit down and remake every playlist I've ever made, because that's, to me, right now, at this point in time, is one of the hardest things I could possibly think of doing. So, if anybody has any solutions on how to export all of my music and make playlists on a good website, please let me know. I am seriously considering figuring out how to just download it all, but that's gonna take a lot of my time, and I just don't have that at the current moment in time, but hopefully in the future that will be an endeavor that I go down. Anyways, but I will release the playlists when the novel actually releases, because that is something that is easily accessible to a lot of people. I'll probably do it on multiple sites and form the playlist and then make a QR code or link to it or something at the back of the book. It's also a really big goal to record my own audiobook for this whole series. I have that as a giant goal. I want to record my own audiobooks. I think that would be really fun. Going down a little voice actor journey because, I don't know, that would be fun. I just think that would be fun to grow my voice and character and my spunk. Yeah, I think that would be really fun. But Siren learns that Brayden can sing. He doesn't know that he's, like, actually a performer or anything. He just learns it, and Brayden figures it out. That he knows instantly because he leaves another rose and disappears. Hides in his closet by accident, but I'm not going to tell you about that scene. You'll have to read the book to figure that scene out. But it's just a whole journey of Siren figuring out what the heck he even wants in any sort of relationship, and Brayden being completely infatuated with Siren. It's a very big... Brayden is a bottom, but the dom, and Siren is the top, but the sub, so it brings a very interesting dynamic to the table that I don't see written about much, and I'm having a lot of fun writing it. So if that is something that interests you, please keep your eye out on my socials. I am constantly drawing art of them right now because I have absolute brain rot when it comes to them. I love my babies, and I would love to have people draw art for them too, because fan art for anything that I make would be absolutely insane. That is like... I know a lot of people get that over time, but like, I don't know. It's like how I feel in art fight when people attack me, because it just makes me feel so nice. Siren and Brayden are up on Art Fight, and I'll leave links to my Art Fight profile in the bottom, but I didn't realize that somebody had drawn Siren. 2 people had drawn Siren, and I just kind of fell off at the end of Art Fight last year because of no reasons. And I logged back on for April Fool's Day, and I saw both of them, and oh my god. The art that was made for Siren was so insane. Like, if you could see me right now, my head is in my hands. Like, thank you. Thank you to the people who attacked Siren last year. Holy shit, dude. Thank you. I would love it if people would attack them this year too. I'm working on updating my refs. I can't wait to see what the theme is going to be this year, and to see if any of you guys happen to attack me. I would love to put out some attacks this year, because I didn't do any last year, because like I said, personal reasons fell off. But I'm doing a lot of art this year, and I would love to attack some people. Keep an eye out, because I think I'm going to do a video about Art Fight too, because I don't know how many people have done it. I haven't seen any yet, but also I haven't been in the YouTube creator community for a long time. I've just barely started branching out into like the art community and the creativity, crochet, like the art community just generally, like all different forms of art. And I've been watching so many different videos from so many different people, and y'all are so insanely talented. I can't breathe. Someday it's just a goal to get up to the standard that some of these creators are able to produce. Like, I would love that. Like, I would love to have fan art of my characters, of my little persona, of just me with characters. Holy crap, dude. If you draw me with Akaza, I would... We don't need to talk about that right now. We don't need to talk about that obsession right now. We do not need to talk about that right now. That will be a whole other video if you want my obsessions with other characters. But this video is supposed to be about my characters. But Art Fight is one of the most fun experiences I've ever had. I love doing it. I helped a friend do it the first year. Like, I watched a friend do it the first year because I just didn't know what I was doing. And then last year was the first year that I made my own account. And this year I really hope to start attacking people back. I can't wait to see the theme reveal of what it's going to be this year. Did you get the April Fool's Day badge? Because I did. Anyways, I think I'm just going to wrap it up there. I'm done talking about Siren and Brayden for now. But if you catch me at events anywhere, maybe I'll put them up online for a really cheap price, but I have a bunch of signed little zines of the first chapter of Divinity that I can send or hand out. If you find me in public and I'm just wandering around, there's a good chance I'll have some in my pocket that I can just give you if you ask for it. I don't know why any of you would do that right now, but it's an offer. I have been bringing them to events I've gone to. I went to a zine fest the other weekend that I left a few at, as well as I've been handing them out as people ask for it, like information about my stories, because it's just the easiest way. But maybe I'll put those up eventually. But look, yeah, just follow my socials because there will be more and more information as time goes on about Divinity and the release schedule, and I'm really hoping to like form a Kickstarter campaign when it actually starts so that I can like have a bunch of extras that people can buy, like photo cards or like information cards, like maybe like a little lyric booklet of like the songs that Brayden writes, and like little comics that I plan to draw, because I would love to draw little comics of my characters and include them in like their own little side stories. So just keep an eye out. Instagram, TikTok, mostly Tumblr because that is my safe space. I'm always on Tumblr, all day, every day. I rot on there. Just keep an eye out. And have a lovely day. You are loved. Thank you for staying until the end of the video. Please drop a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed it and want to stay in this little safe space. Leave a little yellow heart in the comments if you stayed until the end to let me know that you actually enjoyed it. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!